This conference will now be recorded.
Let me share my screen. Just confirm whether the screen is visible or not. Just make sure the screen is visible or not. Yeah. Yes, guys. Like, what are all the topics we saw yesterday? What are all the topics we saw yesterday? We saw about what are all the topics we saw yesterday? We saw about piping, right? Piping. What do you mean by piping? Yeah, piping is a kind of redirection. That is, one command's output will be passed as an input to the next command, next command, right? So that is the concept of piping. Is it clear, guys? Yes, yes, Venkatadurga. Yes, perfect. So then, what we saw? So that is right. Left hand side of pipe should give an output, and right hand side of pipe should take an input from the previous command. That is piping. Then BC, right? What is BC? Basic calculator, right? So with the help of BC, not only we can do uh, integer operation, we can also do non-integer operation, right? So what are all the operations we can do? All the operation, all the arithmetic operation, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. We can also compare two numbers. Am I correct, guys? Yes, right? Yes. So then what we saw? We saw some command substitution method, right? Why we are using this command substitution method? Okay, why we are using? To store some commands output to a variable, we need to use this method, command substitution method, right? So how many types are there in command substitution method? Two types, right? Yes, one is backtick. Okay, so we need to give the complete command inside the backtick, right? That is one method. Next, dollar single bracket, right? Yes, dollar single bracket. Okay, and then we started about shell scripting introduction, right? And then we saw about what is the difference between program and script. Okay, so those things we saw. So what are all the three programming languages? Okay, what are all the advantages, disadvantages? Okay, so those things, general things we saw. And then we saw about some parameters comparing the three languages, right? Okay, so from where we need to start? From size, right? The parameter size we need to discuss, right? Yeah. So okay, next parameter is about size. So size means what here? Size means what? Okay, size means what? Prajwal, like, please watch the recorded session. Okay, like if you have any doubts, you tell me. We will just compare those things at the end of the session, right? Yeah. So size means what here? Size means you can say executables. Okay, size means you can say executables. Okay. Yeah, so at last all the code should convert to machine understandable code, right? So that is zeros and ones, right? So when we do, what about size of each language? So assembly language, size of the executables will be low only comparing to the other languages, because as it is very close to the machine understandable, right? Okay, so the assembly language executable size will be low. Then in the C programming, it is medium. Okay, shell also it's medium. Okay, anyhow it is not dependent on the hardware, right? The size of executable is low in assembly and shell comparing to the C language, because there is a compilation process. Okay, there is a compilation process. Okay, and the compiler will convert the human, that is .c file, to executable file. Okay, so that time that intermediate files will be created. That compilation process will create some intermediate files. Okay, so it will be in that memory. Okay, so these things and all you will be learning about the complete, you'll be learning about this complete compilation process in advanced C module. Okay, so that time you can understand like what are the intermediate files are created, okay, during that compilation process. Okay, so those things you will be able to understand in the next module. Okay, so that's why the size is medium here in C compared to the assembly and shell. And at last the size of the executables, like again it depends upon the length of the code also. Okay, that is also one of the factor. Okay, so suppose if the length of the code is very large code, then what happens? The size of the executables will be definitely high, right? Do you agree with me? Right? Yeah, so depending upon the length of the code also the size varies. Okay, if it is a very small program, executables will be in smaller size. If you have a larger program, the executables will be in larger in size. Okay, again the size depends upon the length of the code also, right? And basically shell will be having low in size, so lesser size of the executables, right? So this is about the size. Okay, next is easy to learn, guys. So what do you mean by easy to learn? Any idea, guys? What do you mean by easy to learn? That means what? That is, yeah, perfect, human understandable. Yes, 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 perfect. So that is easy to understand for the humans, right? So suppose if I want to write one assembly code for one controller, okay, I want to study the complete architecture first, right? Right? So to write one simple code, I want to know the architecture completely, then only I can write it, right? So it's easy to learn only, but it is tough only comparing to the other languages. Okay, that's why it's low in assembly language. Okay, it's easy only, but comparing to the other languages it's little bit tough. That's why here it is given as low, right? So then you if you take C programming, but by basic syntax we can write some C program, right? It's possible, right? By having some basic syntax we can write some C program. Okay, so comparing to assembly I can write the C program, but when it comes to shell scripting it is I. Why? The reason is it is independent of the architecture. Okay, and it is like simple in this language, right? The human can easily understand the language, it's not dependent on this machine, right? So human can easily understand the scripting language. Okay, you can tell it's very close to the English language, right? So there is no syntax also compared to others, right? So the shell scripting will be very very easy to learn. Okay, so assembly is tough to learn comparing to the other programming languages. Okay, if you want to write the assembly code you have to know about the architecture of the hardware, right? Okay, so it's not like easy like shell scripting and C program. Okay, so shell scripting it's easy to learn only. Okay, so these are the parameters. Okay, so these are the parameters and how it is different from different languages. Okay, so when we develop a real-time system then we should come back to this language parameter and we have to decide which one we have to select. Okay, according to our requirement, according to the application which we develop. Is it clear? Okay, so let's say if you want a very fast system, then what you will do? If you want a very fast system, which language you will prefer? Assembly. Yes, perfect, right? So if you want a very fast system then you can select assembly code as a high speed. Okay, it will perform in a high speed. Okay, and you have enough time also. If you have enough time to develop the project you have to consider those things also, right? If you have some 6 months then slowly you can learn the language and it will be faster in execution also. Okay, so two things will be happening. And also if your hardware is fixed then what happens? You are very secure, right? That you will read the controller then you can go with the assembly, right? So if you are not sure then what happens? If you are not sure about your requirements, so other initial stage of the designs also matters. Okay, or which language or which hardware to select. Okay, then you can start with high level language because it's highly portable, right? High level language. Okay, it is independent also because there is no much effort also needed. Okay, so according to the need or requirement you can select the language. Is it clear, guys? Yeah. So next thing about script. So what is a script? Okay, so now we are going to learn about shell scripting. Okay, most specifically bash shell scripting. Okay, so we are going to learn about bash because what is the default shell in our system? Bash shell, right? Bash shell. Okay, so we are going to write bash shell scripting. So what is a script? Okay, so any collection of commands. So any collection of commands can be stored in a file. Okay, that can be called as a shell scripting. Okay, so whatever commands we are executing in the command prompt. Okay, we can just have commands in a file, right? Whatever commands we are executing in the command prompt we can have that in a file. Okay, so instead of executing these commands we can now execute these files. See here. Okay, you have some commands here. Okay, command 1, command 2, command 3. Okay, so these commands you have. Okay, instead of executing these commands one by one, what you can do is you can just insert these commands into a file, and instead of executing these commands individually, you can just execute this file. So this is called as the script file. Is it clear, guys? That is, you can tell it as executable files. That is, it execute files. Is it clear? I will repeat it. So whatever commands we are executing on the command prompt, we can just execute on the, we can just have that commands in a file. Okay, whatever commands we are executing in the command prompt, we can have that in a file, and instead of executing these commands, we can now execute this file. Okay, so this is called as the script file. Script is the file, so it is having the collection of shell commands. Okay, so script is nothing but, what is script? Okay, so collection of shell commands. Okay, script is nothing but collection of shell commands. Is it clear? So how this will be executed? That is my question. How this will be executed? How script will be executed? Like script will be executed as same how commands are executed. Okay, so how commands are executed by the shell? I told you 3 steps, right? Did you remember? Yeah, read. It will read the, yes. So how the commands are executed by the shell? Shell will search for the command binary file, right? It will read the input from the user. Shell will search for the command binary file and it will execute. Okay, and that's why the command is executed on the command prompt. Okay, similarly, the script file also is being executed. Okay, so the interpreter, in case of scripting, we have the shell interpreter, right? So what it does, it reads line by line. That's what we discussed yesterday, right? Did you remember? Did you remember? It reads line by line. Okay, so it reads line by line in the script file. First line it will read, then it will search for the command binary file, and then what it will do, and then it will execute, and again it goes to the second line in a file, and in the second line the command binary file will be searched for. So if it is fine, if it is found, then the command binary file will be executed, right? And then we will get an output. Okay, so like this, how commands are executed on the shell. Okay, in the same way, the scripts are also executed by the shell. Okay, so script is a collection of files, you can say. Okay, script is a collection of file, you can say. Okay, so it is having the shell commands. Okay, so all the commands what we execute on the command prompt, we can have that in a script file, and this kind of programming we call as a scripting. Is it clear, guys, what is scripting? So we don't call as programming, we call this as a scripting. Is it clear? Up to this, is it clear for everyone? Please respond. Yeah. Yes. So any collection of shell commands, okay, any collection of shell commands will be stored as a file. Okay, and programming scripts is called as a shell scripting. Okay, so like other programming, the scripts also have some variables. Okay, we also have some variables also we have. See here, scripts have variables, right? So we here also we have some variables. Then what, we know variables, right? What we saw, some variables, right? Shell variables topic, right? Did you remember? Does it has any type? Untype. Yeah, perfect, Anirudh. Yeah, that is untype. Yes, so we know variables. Okay, also the flow control statements, which means a control statement, if condition, for loop, while loop. Okay, all those things you can have it in a script like other programming languages. In C programming languages you would have learned, right? Same as that. Yeah. Okay, so looping statements in your script. So how the shell is being executed in the shell? Okay, so read commands, it reads commands from the line by line execution, and it searches for those commands on the system. Okay, and then it will be executed. Okay, so script is a collection of file commands. Okay, that file you can use like other programming languages, but the difference is programming languages are compiled, here they are interpreted. That is a major difference. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? Yes. So next thing is applications. Okay, where it is used. Okay, so where we are using these scripts. So we are learning the shell scripting this course. Okay, in this module we are learning, but where it is actually used. Okay, so let me give you the criteria. Okay, so initially like it will be used in the test automation. Okay, so what are the areas it is being used? Okay, now we'll start one by one. For example, so it is used in the area of system administration. That's what I've given in the slide, right? What is system administration means? System administration. So it is used in the area of system administration. That's what is given in the slide, right? So what is the use of system admin? Like what is the role of system admin in any company? If you take, there will be one system admin, no? So what is our roles and responsibilities, what they will be doing? Any idea? Any idea, guys, what they will be doing? System admin in any company, if you take, there will be system admin, right? Yeah, maintaining PCs, computers, checking to verify, check docs and files, to execute all the programs, monitor. Okay, gives access, right? Yeah, okay. Sending mail server. Okay, manage the things. Okay, permission. Okay, fine. Okay, so okay, so if you take, so what they will be doing, like uh they have they will like they will update the servers, right? Suppose for example they will update the servers. Okay, they will maintain the system database, softwares and all, right? So server, like server under maintenance, so they have to maintain the access for new employees, right? Do you agree? So they have to maintain access for new employee, like if a new, like if an employee is quitting the job. Okay, so what happens then? That employee should be logged from the service center, right? Okay, so it's mostly like it is repeated task. Okay, so it's mostly like a repeated task only. Okay, server maintenance, like weekly updates, monthly maintenance. Okay, so it'll be doing the same set of work only, right? Same set of, that is same set of commands to update the server. Okay, they will be doing the same thing, like downloading the package from internet and loading that on the server, right? So a lot of things they will be doing, but most of the time it's same thing only, repeated task. Do you agree? So those things can be maintained instead of doing it manually, right? Maintenance center, it can be automated by using some simple scripts. Okay, simple scripts can do that job. Okay, so by running only one simple script, all these updates will be done. Okay, so they can write the scripts to maintain the server, okay, or update the server. Okay, small tasks can be automated by using the scripts. Okay, so that's where the shell scripting are mainly used. Okay, so in the admin domain, there will be a lot of tasks, right? Okay, they will be doing repeatedly, right? So some will be doing manually. Okay, that can be automated by the scripts, with the help of scripts. Okay, that's where it has been used. Okay, and in your development also, for example, scripts can be used to develop lot of testing tools. Like if you take, so basically it has been used in testing domain, right? So in industries, if you take in IT industry, if you take, there will be two domains. Can you list it? Can you list what are those? Mainly there will be two domains in IT industry. What are the two domains? Yeah, testing and developing, right? Yes, so testing and developing. Okay, testing and developing, yes, perfect. Okay, so what they will be doing there, like one team will be doing development and other team will be doing the testing. So each application or product, okay, so before getting into the market, what happens? So it should be properly tested, right, before going into the market. Okay, so testing team will be testing that across. So multiple inputs and multiple things they will be checking, right? Okay, the products, the hardware, the software, they will be checking. Okay, so there will be some security testing, unit testing, functional testing. Okay, lot of testings they have to do before releasing the product, right? So in the testing domain, so most of the task or work can be automated by writing the simple script, right? So instead of doing manually, they can run the scripts to do particular testing. And also testing also, like they will be having some tools. Okay, so this testing team will be having some Selenium kind of tools. Do you aware of Selenium tool? Anybody working in IT industry testing in this batch? Selenium testing, are you aware of Selenium testing? Yes, right? Yeah. Okay. So what they will be doing, it is a kind of tool, right? It is developed with some scripts only. Okay, so those automation tools can be developed with scripts, with a scripting language, not only with shell scripts. There are a lot of scripting language there. No. Okay, in scripting language, most of the automation tools are being developed. Okay, so testing domain, they will be doing manually. Okay, manual testing and automation, both are there. Okay, automation testing, they will be having automation tools, that is, or script to automate the application, right? So these tools also can be developed with scripts, and also scripts itself can do the testing process. Okay, so that's where the scripts are being used. Is it clear, guys? And also, if you take in the daily usage, okay, like daily usage is like small reminders. If you want to create some to-do list, okay, then you can use the scripts. Okay, a lot of things can be automated, like daily based things. Okay, those things can be automated by using simple scripts. Okay, reminders, mails, some backups if you want to take on daily basis. Okay, those can be done by using scripts. Okay, this is where exactly the scripts are being used. Is it clear, guys? Okay, so whenever there is an automated task, if it needs to be automated, the scripts are being used, and the scripts are being used to test the products or application. Okay, and also to develop some testing tools, right? So this is where the scripts are being actually used. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear, guys? Yeah. So okay, so okay, now we'll actually start writing with some scripts. Okay, so introductions are over. Now we'll start writing. So how to write a script, okay, and how to execute the basic things I will tell you. Okay, so to write a script, we are going to use the Vim editor only. Okay, so I hope you remember the shortcuts and all, right, and how to open the Vim editor, those things we saw, right? I hope you remember. Yes, right? Okay, so we saw. So now we are going to see how to write scripts in Vim editor. Okay, now we'll write some new scripts. Screen is visible, right? I will enlarge the screen. Is it clear? Screen is visible, right? Okay, so see here, guys. So this is like, now where I am. Now I am in which directory? Now I am in which directory? User directory. Okay, so when you are working in the system, okay, like you should be keeping things organized. Okay, so I need to go to the particular directory and I need to write some scripts. Okay, you need to be very organized. Okay, so you can create one directory for classworks or any separate directory for assignments. Okay, creates and maintain your data. Okay, that should be in a very organized way. Is it clear? So create some new directory, and any assignment or classworks or any practice file, okay, you can have that in that particular directory. Is it clear, guys? So it should be very organized, so that it will be helpful for you to view in the future, right? Okay, so scripts is a collection of shell commands, right? So it is a file. So how to edit or create a file? So we can use Vim editor. Okay, let me give a name. So to create a file, I need to use the Vim editor. The command name is vi space the file name I need to give. Okay, any file name you can give. You can even give your name. Okay, but here I am giving some meaningful variable name so that I can able to understand or refer it back. Okay, so vi is a command to create a file in the Vim editor, and space the file name I am giving, new underscore script dot sh. Okay, dot sh is an extension for shell scripting. Okay, extension for shell scripting will be dot sh, guys. Is it clear? Dot sh you need to give, right? So let us create a script now. So see here I am giving enter. What is happening? What is happening? So let us create a script. So it has been created. Okay, so it is basically a collection of commands, right? What is script? Script is a basically a collection of commands. Okay, so before writing the script line, in the first line of the script is always should be shebang line or interpreter line. For example, like this, slash exclamatory slash bin slash bash. So this line should be in the top always, the first line. Okay, so you should have this line in the first always. So what is this? How it is looking like, guys? What is this and how is it looking like? That is my question. It is looking like a path, right? Do you agree with this? It is looking like, is it looking like a path, right? Slash and all there, right? It's looking like a path. Okay, so what type of path it is? Absolute path or relative path? Starting with what? If it is starting with root, what? Absolute, right? So it is starting with root, so it is absolute path, right? Yes. So what is this with absolute path for what? Bin means what? Bash means what? Path for what? Anirudh, this slash hyphen has a different meaning that I will be explaining you. Okay, but it is starting with the root only. So what is this? Bin means what? Bash means what? Absolute path of bash shell. Okay, binary, like binary files of the bash shell. Okay, so this path, this is called as a interpreter line. Okay, so what interpreter we are currently using in our system? Bash shell, right? So in our system it is bash shell. Okay, we are using. So now the first line is interpreter line. This is called as a interpreter line. Okay, so which is, we have to tell where the interpreter is. Okay, there is two lines of scripts to be interpreted, into which interpreter we have to specify. Okay, so we have to specify this line as a first line. Okay, this line you have to specify the path, where is the interpreter. So this is called as the interpreter line, or also you can call this as the shebang line. Is it clear? Shebang line. So see here, okay, so this is to tell that the below lines, okay, the meaning of this is, this is to tell that the below lines needs to be interpreted with the bash shell. That is the meaning. Okay, so in our case we are giving like this. Okay, what is this slash bin slash bash? Okay, it's starting with root, right? So this is to tell what is the meaning of this. So below lines of script, okay, needs to be interpreted with the bash shell. Is it clear? So that is the meaning of this line. Okay, so what if I did not give this line here? That is my question. Will it execute?
No, ma.
So what is the default shell now? My question is, will it execute? No, right? No. Okay, many are saying no. Why no? If I'm not
No,
giving,
Machi.
it will not execute your tell, right? Like please don't unmute yourself. We need to specify. Okay, so see here, what will happen is, in our system, if you miss this line also, okay, the script will work. Okay, because the script will give you the proper output. Okay, because the default shell is bash only, right? Okay, and even if you give this line also or ignore this line also, my script will work, because the default shell is bash shell in our system, right? Like maybe if you are sharing the script with your friend system, suppose that bash is not a default shell, if there is a different shell running, okay, let's say some ZSH is running or CSS is running, okay, in that scenario you may not get the proper output. Okay, because we are going to use the bash script, right? It will work fine in bash shell only. Is it clear? So if it is executed in different shell, you may get an error or undefined error. Okay, we can't guarantee that the file, that the system will work. Okay, that's why if you include this line, even if different shell is running, even if CSH is running, okay, or any other shell is running, because script will be executing only with the bash interpreter. Okay, only if the default shell is different, the script what we are writing, that will be interpreted as the bash interpreter. Okay, so that's why we are giving the path always. It is recommended to give this path always. Okay, even if you are not giving, it will execute. Okay, so that's why we are including this line. Okay, this will be the first line. Is it clear, the significance of this line? Why do we need to include this line? Yes. Oh, yeah. So after this, let me add some commands here, because shell is a collection of commands, right? So let us add some commands here. What are all the commands you know? What are all the commands we saw first in the initial stage? What are all the commands we saw? We saw about ls command, right? Okay, then what we saw? pwd, then date, right? Date, we saw about date, right? Okay, so now I have added 3 commands. Okay, so now I have added 3 commands. So how to save? I want to save this. How to save? In the escape mode, colon wq, right? Like I need to go to the command prompt also. Okay, so I am back to the command prompt, right? I gave colon wq. Okay, so I need to execute that script, right? What I told, what is script? Instead of executing the commands, I need to execute that script file, right? I need to script the file, I need to execute the file, right? So how to execute, the script file? That is my next question. So to execute the script file, there are 2 ways to execute the script file. So what are the ways? Let me tell you. Okay, so one way, okay, one is by bash command, by using the bash command. So bash is a command to execute the file. That is, you can give bash script file name, you can give, right? And then another method is you can give the path of script file. Is it clear? So second way is by using the path. Okay, either absolute path or relative path. Okay, so by using the bash command, you can execute the script, or path of the script file you can execute. Okay, so let me execute with the first one. Okay, so what is the command? Bash is the command, then script file name. What is the script file name? We have new script, right? New underscore dot. Do we need to give the extension here? Yes, so I need to give the extension here. Okay, so what happens? See here, if I execute, what happens? Just check and tell me what I'm getting. Now we are getting the output, right? Just compare the file name with the output. So what I'm getting? So what is shell? So script will execute line by line execution, right? So what is happening here? Now we are getting the output. First line is what? Output of ls command, then output of pwd command, right? Line by line execution. Then what about date command? Date command output we got. Is it clear? So in shell script, it is having a file, it is having the collection of shell commands. Okay, so when I execute these files using bash method, what happened? We are getting the output of whatever command we entered, we will get, right? So now it has been executed line by line execution, right? So we got the output for the script file. This is one method. And second method is what? Second method is path, right? By giving the path, right? So by specifying the path. So how do you specify the path for this file? Can you give the absolute path for this file? Can you please help me? What can I give? Absolute path, can you give me? This 23008 is available there. How do you give the absolute path? From root you help me. Like root home, right? Then username, then 23008. Is it correct? Or okay, then what I need to give? That's all right. Or I need to give the that script file name. Script file name I need to give, right? Okay, so new script dot sh. Okay, let's check whether I am giving or not. So what is happening? What I'm getting now? Okay, what is happening? Permission denied. I'm getting some. Okay, I'm getting some error. Okay, but I'm getting permission denied. Why the permission is denied, guys? Okay, permission denied. Okay, why I'm getting this permission denied? Okay, so because this is because let us check the permission. Okay, we have some three types of permission, right? Whenever we create a file, that is write permission, read permission, and executable permission, right? So how will you check? What command I can use to check for long listing? Yes, perfect, Anirudh. ls-l. Just check whether I am having executable permission or not for new underscore what is the file name? Okay, new underscore script dot sh. Where is that? Here we have, right? Do we have executable permission? Just see, read write permission we have. For executable it is dash only, right? So we don't have executable permission. That's why I am getting here the error permission denied. Is it clear? This file doesn't have any executable permission. Okay, so that's why I can't able to execute this using the path method. So now how can I add executable permission? How can I add? Like, because if you are able to execute by using the absolute path, I'm getting the error message, right? Permission denied. But before I need to have the executable permission, I need to add it. Then only I can able to execute by using the path method, right? Then what I need to do? How to add executable permission? Yes, Shreya. So the command is chmod. Okay, to add executable permission, we have a command that is chmod. Okay, chmod means change mode. Okay, it is a command to change the permission. Okay, currently if I want to add executable permission, right? So I can give chmod plus. I want to add, so I am giving plus. Which permission I need to add here? Read or write or execution? Execution. So I need to give X. So which file name I need to give? To which file I need to give the executable permission? New underscore script, right? So that file name I need to give. Is it clear? Up to this, is it clear? So if I execute, what happens? There is no error. So that means what? The command is executed successfully. Is it clear? So we can also do other things. We can remove permission, remove different permission, add different permission. Okay, we can learn detail about the ch command later. For the okay, so for now we will just add executable permission. Okay, that is what the current requirement is, right? Okay, so let us check the file is having executable permission or not. So we have added. Let us check what is the command to check whether it is added or not. Where to go and check? What is the command? ls-l. Just check whether we are having the executable permission or not. Yes, right? Okay, now it is added with a color also, right? Can you be able to see the color? Green means what? Green means what? Executable file. Okay, blue means directory, black means normal regular file, green means executable file. The color also has changed. Perfect, right? So okay, so after adding the executable path, okay, so now let us it has been added, right? So let us execute by using the path method, absolute path. So what is the absolute path? Can I execute? Will I get my output? Is it correct? Am I getting the output, guys? Just check and tell me. Yes, right? Okay, so I'm getting the output, right? So this is other way. Okay, so this is one way, and other way is what? By executing the bash method. .sh, right? So this is one way, this is one way, by using the bash command and by using the path method, but I will always tell you to use only the bash command. That is the recommended way. Okay, whether it will not, this bash command will not care whether the file is having executable permission or not. Okay, it will execute whatever you give, whatever you file name you pass in the bash command, it will execute. It will give you the output. It doesn't care whether it is having executable permission or not. Okay, so it is highly recommended whenever you execute, use the bash command. Is it clear, guys? If you use bash command, then you don't need executable permission. Bash will take care of all the executable permission. Okay, but if you are using simply path, then the file should be having executable permission. Okay, so to add executable permission, we are using this chmod command. Is it clear how to execute these files? How to execute these files? Is it clear? Okay, guys. Like I will give you some 2 to 3 minutes time. Can you please create a file and just execute it? What we saw. This is very important, so I'm giving time to practice in the class session itself. Just take some 2 or 3 minutes time. Just create a file and add some commands and try to execute by using the bash command. Okay, and tell me when you're done. Just tell me in the chat. Is it clear? Just take 2 or 3 minutes. Now the time is 7:57. Just finish it by 8 o'clock. Okay, make it quick. Then what about others? Done, right? What about others? Done, right? Okay. Okay, so we'll continue with the scripting part itself. Okay, uh now let me take some small requirement. Okay, we just created a file and we added some commands and we just executed, right? Okay, so now let us take this requirement. My requirement is write a script Write a script to add two numbers. Okay, so we know about arithmetic operation, right? To add, subtract, multiplication, division. So those operation we know how to do it, right? So we have some expression evaluation methods, right? So here the requirement is write a script to add two numbers. Okay, for two numbers you have to get two inputs from the user, right? How many inputs you need to add? You need to give two, right? So you have to perform addition and display the output. Okay, shall we write a script to add two numbers, right? Okay, so let me take a new script. Okay, I'm giving some meaningful variable names, like how to create a file, vi space file name, right? I'm doing addition, so I'm giving add.sh. Okay, I'm entering and press enter, go to the insert mode. And what is the first line I should include? What is the first line I should include? Yeah, shebang line or interpreter line, right? Right. Okay, so then uh what what to add to, what to do to add two numbers? I have to read input from the user, right? So what is the command to read? I have to read input from the user. Yeah, so read, that is -p for using the prompt, then enter two numbers. Okay, so then what, I have to give two variables, right? Okay, because I need to add two numbers, num1, let's say I'm giving num1 and num2. Okay, okay, so now how can I add? I want to add num1 and num2. How to add? So I have to take any of the expression evaluation method, right? So let's take expr. How can I do it? Like Venkata Durga, just listen the class. If you have any errors or any queries, like just WhatsApp me, I will revert you back after the class. Please listen the class. I will give time to execute. Okay, so okay, expr we can use. So how to execute it? Expr, I need to store some result in a variable, right? How can I do that? Okay, expr dollar num1. Okay, like this you can do it. Yes, perfect. That is expr. Okay, let's, any method you can use. We'll just try with expr. Okay, dollar num1 and plus dollar num2, right? Okay, then what I need to give? I need to store this in a variable, right? So I am doing sum, so I'm giving meaningful variable here. Okay, is it right? Is it right, or do I need to add anything else in this third line? Third line, is it right, or do I need to add anything else? Backtick I need to use, right? Yes, so complete command I need to enclose in the backtick. So backtick is missing here, so I'm using backtick. Is it correct now? Okay, so then what I need to do, I just need to print the result, right? So to print, what is the command? What to do to print the sum value? I need to print. So echo, I'm giving some, that is dollar sum, right? So let's add some uh, promptings here. Okay, that is sum of two numbers is. Okay, so like this I will add some useful meaningful promptings here. Is it right? So anything else I want to add it? Anything else I want to add two numbers? That's all right, or do I need to add anything else? Shall we execute? That's all. Okay, so see here, colon wq. So how to execute? What is the command to execute? Make it fast. What is the command to execute? Bash file name. What is the file name? Add.sh. See here whether I'm getting the answer or not. Enter two numbers. Okay, promptings I'm getting, right? So I'm giving some two numbers, that is 4 space 5 I'm giving and executing. What is happening? Sum of two numbers is 9. So I'm getting the answer as 9, right? So it's very basic. Okay, so to add two numbers, so this what we saw. So with the help of this read command we know, expr we know. Okay, expr is giving promptings, right? So these we already learned, right? Okay, just we are collecting all the commands what we have learned, and I am inserting that in a file to perform the specific operation. Okay, for adding two numbers. Okay, is it clear? So just execute this and see in your terminal. Okay, just make sure you don't miss any of the backtick or any syntax. Okay, please execute and let me know once when you're done. Okay, so just take some 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, just execute this because this is very very basic, right? So I'm giving you time to practice. Okay, take some 3 to 4 minutes. Just try. Please execute and let me know once when you're done. Is it clear? Okay, just execute this and see. Okay, just execute this and see. Okay, like okay, it's what I need to do it here. It's exclamatory, right? Okay, so see here, Anirudh, even if I am not giving this line, I will get the output. I told you, right? I told you, right? That is the thing. Even if you are not giving the first line, you will get the output. Okay, just make sure you don't miss any of the backticks. So, but it is always to use the shebang line or interpreter line. Okay, just execute it and see, and make sure you get it. What about others? Done. Yeah. So the interpreter line should be mentioned in all the scripts, because the reason is in our system, if I remove this line, also it will be working fine only, right? So because we have this bash interpreter, by default it will be running. If you are running the same script in other system, there are different types of shells, right? Different types of shells is running, so that time you may get an error, your output may not be correct. Okay, so that's the reason you have to include all these lines in the first line in all the scripts. It's recommended, because we don't know, right? Maybe tomorrow, like if you want to use the same script in other systems. Okay, also if that time any misbehavior or wrong output comes, what happens then? We have to check what is the error, right? So to avoid those kind of issues, before itself I'm adding this. Is it clear, guys? Yes. Okay, so I will take the next requirement. So my next requirement is write a script to check whether a given number is greater than 5 or not. Okay, this is my question. Okay, write a script to check whether the given number is greater than 5 or not. You tell me. So here, how many inputs I want to get from the user? How many input I want to get from the user? One, right? Yes, one. So we have to check whether that number is greater than 5 or not. So we have to read one number from the user. Okay, we should check whether that number is greater than 5 or not. Okay, how will you check whether the given number is greater than 5 or not? How will you check? Will you give some condition to check? If that condition satisfy, then we can print something, right? So we should give some condition, right? Yeah. So okay, we should check whether that given number is greater than 5 or not. So you need to write the condition for that. Okay, so depending upon that condition, suppose if the number is greater than, so then you are going to print the result as what? So you are going to print the result as number greater than 5 you need to print, right? So this is one criteria. Suppose if the number is less than 5, what you will print? That is number less than 5 you will print, right? You agree? So according to the result, we are going to write the condition for that. Okay, first you are going to read a number, then you are going to check that number is greater than 5 or not. Okay, so if it is greater than 5, then you are going to print the first statement. If it is lesser than 5, then you are going to print the second statement, right? So now I have two statements. Depending upon the result, either I have to print one or two, first or second. So to do this, what we want? We need to check the condition, right? And accordingly, if you want to print the result, you can use the control statements. The concept is control statements or conditional statements. Okay, so basically what is this control statement means? So this is like you can tell, this is used to control the flow of execution. Okay, so control the flow of execution, you can tell. Okay, so control statements are used to control the flow of execution. So what are the types of control statements we have? Any idea? What are all the types we have? Okay, let me answer this. If we have, okay, then if else we have, then nested if we have, then okay, then if else if we have, okay, do while we don't have. Okay, do while you will be having in C programming. In shell scripting you don't have do while. Okay, okay, here also switch. Okay, in the place of switch you will be having case. Okay, case statements, that is. Okay, that is like switch only. Okay, so all these are control statements, so they are used to control the flow of execution. Okay, we'll discuss about all these control statements one by one. Okay, so but for our requirement, this is our requirement, right? But our requirement, you tell me which control statements we can use, which one we can use for this script. If, right? Okay, if else, right? If else, because we need to print two statements, right? Either one, so we need to use if else. Okay, let me give you the syntax first. Okay, let me give you the syntax for if statement. Okay, so the syntax would be if square bracket you need to give, then space, and whatever condition we need to enclose, you need to enclose inside this square bracket. And after writing the condition, you need to give other again space, one space, and then close the square bracket. Is it clear? So then suppose if the number is greater than 5, okay, then that condition we should write inside this if condition, right? Inside the square bracket. Then you need to use the keyword. Okay, always if you use if condition, in the second line you need to be using the keyword then, always. Okay, then you need to use the keyword then. Okay, here we have only keyword. Okay, it is representing that if the statement, that is if the statement block is getting executed, so whatever like whatever statements we want to execute when the condition is true, then you need to give inside this block. Okay, that is you can execute some statement, right? So if the condition is true, then you need to give inside this block. Suppose if the condition is false, what I need to do? Suppose this condition is false, yes, then you need to include another statement in else part. Do you agree with me? Then you need to include another statement in the else part. Then here I have opened the if condition, right? I have opened the if condition. Do I want to terminate? I want to terminate this if condition, right? So how to terminate? So to terminate, I have to give the keyword fi. It's not end here, it's fi. So what is the reverse of if here? If you reverse the word if, what will give? Fi, right? Okay, you can just easily remember these things. Is it clear? Yeah. So these things you can mention it. So this is the syntax for if condition. Is it clear? Okay. Uh, okay. So can we write a syntax? Can we write a script by using the syntax? Write a script to check whether the number is greater than 5 or not. Okay, you have to tell me. Let me write a script. Okay. So how to write a script? How to create a script? vi. So here you don't have any curly braces. Okay, here you need to use only the keyword. Okay, you need to use the keyword then after if condition. Okay, see here. So to create a file, I need to give vi space and then the file name I need to give. Okay, any file name you can give. So what I want to include in the first line, shebang line or interpreter line, right? Okay, then what I need to give? Yeah, we have to read the input from the user, right? So read -p, then enter a number, right? Then what I need to do? I have to check. So to check, I have to write some condition, right? Okay, if condition, what I need to give? Square bracket space I'm giving. What is the requirement? Just see the question. So write a script to check whether a given number is greater than 5. Okay, greater than 5. That is okay. Num greater than 5. You tell me to access the value inside the variable. I need to use some character, right? Operator. What is that? Dollar. Can we use like this? Dollar num greater than 5 like this? Is it possible? Do you agree with me? Okay. Okay. So see here, what operator I have to use here? Like I'm using some relational operator, right? So this is a numerical comparison operator. Okay. But we have different set of operators in shell script. Okay. So let me tell you what are all the set of operators we have to use. Okay. We have to use inside this if condition to compare the numbers. Okay. So the operators are, so you tell me what are all the relational operators we have? Can you list it out? What are all the relational operators you know? Okay, that is greater than, right? Then okay, see here. So relational operators and logical operators. Okay, so in the place of lesser than, you need to use the keyword -lt. Okay, so then we have greater than, right? So for greater than, we need to use -gt. Okay, so then we have greater than or equal to. What you will be having? Any idea? Just guess. -le. Yes. So then we have that is greater than or equal to, right? What we have? Hyphen GE, then equal to, that is hyphen EQ. Okay, then we have that is not equal to, that is hyphen NE. Yes, perfect. Okay, so for checking whether the number is lesser than, we need to find what lesser than, right? Lesser than, for lesser than we have to use hyphen LT, for lesser than, for greater than we have to find hyphen GT, right? So for all this operators, the behavior is same only, but the operator is different. Okay, so these are the operators we have to follow in shell scripting currently. Okay, so currently what operator I can use for our script? Can you please tell me? I want to check whether the number is greater than 5 or not. Yeah, yes, perfect. So we can use hyphen GT, right? In the place of this greater than, I need to use hyphen GT, right? So then what condition I need to give after this condition? So if the condition is true, after if always I need to use a keyword then if this condition is true, what I need to do? Then I can give the statement, right? To print the statement, what is the command? Echo. Yes, perfect. Then the number is greater than 5, right? Then if the condition is false, what I need to do? If the condition is false, what can I conclude? In the else part, I need to give the other statement. So echo, what I need to give? The number is less than 5, right? Okay, so how to terminate? And to terminate, which key I want to use? F5. Yes, perfect. Okay, okay. And then so when you are adding the square bracket, these condition, like make sure there is a space before and after the square bracket. Is it clear on both the sides? Okay, so can we execute it? So what is the command to execute? Bash, right? Bash space file name. Okay, so enter a number. Okay, I'm entering the number 4. What I'm getting? The number is lesser than 4. Okay, that's correct. Okay, suppose if I am giving 7, what happens? Okay, I'm getting the number is greater than 5. Okay, this is also correct. Okay, suppose uh okay, if I am giving 5, what happens? The number is lesser than 5. Is it correct? If I give input as 5, but what is the actual output? Output should be no, right? Is it lesser than 5? Actually no, right? The number is equal to 5, right? That should be the answer, but I am getting the wrong result. So what can I do here? Can I resolve this? So what can I use it now? Yeah, yes, if else if we need to use. Okay, if else if we need to use. See here, uh so how many condition we are going to use now? Because in if else if we need to use 2 conditions. Okay, because here we need to check 2 conditions, right? Whether the number is equal to 5 or not. Okay, so if I want to add one more condition, now I have 2 conditions. One is I'll be checking whether the number is equal to 5, because I need to print, if I give 5, it should print equal to 5, right? So what is the condition? First condition. What is the first condition we gave? Number is greater than 5, right? Then what is the other condition we need to give? Number should be equal to 5, right? Do you agree with me? I'm going to print the number is greater than 5, or else you can say one more condition. You need to check another condition, whether the number is equal to 5. Then we can print equal. Okay. And else, if this condition is also false, now both the conditions are false, you can conclude by printing this is less than 5, right? So now we have more than one condition. So if I have more than one condition, I can go with another control statements, that is if else if. Is it clear? If else if. Okay, so you can add if else if to add more than one condition. If you have multiple condition, you can go with if else if. Okay, so what is the syntax for using if else if? So let me tell you. Okay, let me tell you the syntax. So similarly, if is a condition, so you need to give the condition inside this if condition, right? So if that is true, you can print some statements. Okay, then you need to use after if always, then I need to give some statement, execute some statement. Okay, if the condition is true, then if one is false, you can add one more condition, right? You can add one more condition using else if. Okay, so the keyword in shell script is elif, not else if. You need to use the keyword elif, elif. Then you need to give the square bracket and you need to give the condition to here, next condition. Okay, so in short it is elif, and you can have one more condition. So if that is true, then you can execute some statements. Here also you need to add the keyword. Then if this is true, what you need to do, you need to execute some statements here, second statement. Is it clear? So if this condition is false, what you have to do? Suppose my question is, can we add any number of conditions in elif? So here you can add any number of conditions. Okay, for example, see here, elif, I can add any number of elif conditions. You can add here like this, right? Then okay, then statement 3. So this condition is true, what happens? Statement 3 will be executed. Okay, more than one if condition. If you want to check accordingly, if you want to print output, you can go with if elif. Okay, let's say if condition 3 is also true. Okay, so then you can have statement 3. Okay, like this you can have any number of statements, any number of statements. Is it clear? So if suppose none of the conditions are true, then you can add a else part. Okay, then you can add a else part. Then what I need to do? After the else part, what I need to do? Yeah, statement, right? Statement 4. Is it clear? So none of the conditions are true, you can add a else part here, and in the else part you can print some statements. So this else part is optional. Okay, optional only, it's not mandatory. If you want you can add, if you don't want you can ignore. Okay, then what I need to terminate? For terminating, what is the keyword? Yeah, F5. Yes, perfect. So I need to use a keyword F5. Is it clear? So and then at the end you have to end with F5. This is the thing. Okay, is it clear? This is a syntax for if else if. Okay, so now let us discuss with the flow chart. Don't worry, we'll discuss with some flow chart so that you will be able to understand it better. Okay, so let's say starting with line by line execution, right? So starting from condition 1, executing line by line. So for each condition, let's say for condition 1, okay, so for condition 1 you will be having two scenarios, right? So what are all the scenarios? The condition can either be what? The condition can either be true or false, right? Yeah, either be true or false. Okay, so can you tell me what if the condition is true here? You can take the syntax as an example and tell me. If the condition is true, what will happen? What will be executed, or will the next condition will be checked? Statement 1 will be executed, right? Yes, perfect. So if the condition is true, whatever statement we have, that will be executed, right? So after execution, after executing statement 1, will it check condition 2? No. Okay, so perfect. Okay, so we have two scenarios, that is uh, true or false we have, right? Okay, so if the condition is true, then statement 1 will be executed, right? If the condition is true, statement 1 will be executed. Okay. Okay, and the control will come out of this if block, right? So after execution, it will come out of the if block. Okay, it will just come out of the control. So what about if the condition 1 is false? If it is true, statement 1 will be executed. If it is false, what happens? What will happen? Yeah, so it will check the condition 2, right? It will check the condition 2, right? So what are all the condition I have? I will put some box here. Okay, okay, condition 2. Okay, so again for condition 2 also we have two scenarios, right? What are those? We have true and false, right? Okay, true and false. Okay, right? So what if that is true and what if that is false? What if the condition 2 is true? What happens? If the condition is true, then the particular block of statement of if will be executed, right? Do you agree with me? Statement 2, that is right. What if the condition is false? Condition 2 is false. Yeah, condition 3, right? Suppose if we have condition 3, condition 3 will be executed, right? Yeah, so condition 3 will be executed. Okay, so then for condition 3 also we have two, I can have two scenarios, right? It can be either true or false. So what will happen? What will happen? Okay, same as previous. Okay, so now I don't have any condition here. Only I have three condition. So what will be my out? What will be printed if it is true? If it is true, it will print statement 3, right? Okay, then if it is false, we don't have any condition. What happens? Statement 4 will be executed. That's perfect, right? So whatever inside this if block will be executed. Statement 4 will be executed. Okay, so this is how the if else if will work. Okay, so if the condition is true, then the particular if block statement will be executed, and from the if block, the control will jump out of the if. It will terminate the if and come out of the if block, right? So if the condition is false, it will keep on checking the next condition until it is getting true, right? So if the none of the conditions are true, then whatever inside the if block, okay, if else block will be executed. You tell me, when is the condition 3 checked here? When is the condition 3 checked here? Yeah, so yeah, so whenever previous condition is false, right? So whenever the previous condition is false, then the next condition is checked. So here also condition 2 is checked as the previous condition 1 is false. So next condition will be checked only if the previous condition is false. Okay, so this is if elif. Is it clear, guys? Up to this, is it clear, guys? Where I need to add the if like if elif condition, guys? After the statement 1 or what? Where I need to add the elif condition? Because two conditions I need to satisfy, right? Where I need to add? After if, like, is it after if or after statement 1? Line 6, right? Okay, so can just tell me elif, then what is the condition I need to give? Dollar num should be equal to 5. So what is the symbol? Hyphen eq, right? Okay, so after if I need to use the keyword, then what I need to do? Then I need to print the second set of statement. What is the second set of statement? The number is equal to 5, right? Right? Else the number is less than 5. Is it clear? Is it correct? Can we execute it or any other thing I need to add? Just check and tell me, guys. Yeah, we'll execute it, right? Okay, 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 okay. Okay, enter a number. 4 I'm giving. The number is less than 5. Okay. 8 I'm giving. The number is greater than 5. Okay. So now we'll give 5. What happens? The number is equal to 5. So we got the output, right? Is it clear? So if this condition is true, then we can see the number is greater than 5, or if it is, if I give 5, it is equal to 5. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. So I will give you other requirement. My next question is, write a script to find largest of two numbers. Okay, so this is my requirement. You tell me, if you want to find the largest of two numbers, how many inputs you have to give? Okay, two, right? Okay, so two numbers you will be giving. Okay, I will give you input, that is num1 and num2, right? Num1 and num2. Okay, so what will be the output? You have to compare and find out which one is largest. Okay, so your output should be what? Output should be like num1 is largest, or if num2 is largest, then you have to print num2 is largest, right? Okay, then any other scenario, if both are equal, then you have to print both are equal, right? So three scenarios we have, right? So okay, okay, like this question is like first question only. Okay, like the previous one is same as this current script. Okay, you just need to modify only the few things. Can you tell me what are all the changes I need to do? What are all the changes I need to do? We'll just modify here itself, in the script itself. Just tell me what are all the things I need to modify. We shall modify in the current script only. So here I need to read two numbers or one number. How many inputs? Two, right? So I'm giving let's say num1 and num2, right? So then guys, then I need to compare number 1 and number 2, right? So I'm giving num1. I need to compare, right? What I need to do? So I need to find whether the number 1 is greater than number 2. Yes, perfect guys. Number 2. Okay. Then I need to print num1 is largest, right? Number that is num1 is largest. Okay. Then what happens? In the elif condition, what condition I need to give? Num1 should be equal to num2, right? Okay. If num1 is equal to num2, what I need to do? Then I need to print what? It is equal to, that is the numbers are equal, I need to print, right? If the numbers are equal, I need to print the numbers are equal. Is it correct? Then what happens? If both the conditions are false, I need to print the number 2 is largest, right? Number 2 is largest in the else part I need to print. Okay, number, that is dollar num2, right? Is it correct guys? Can we execute it? Else what can I conclude? If the second condition is also false, then what can I conclude? Then the number 2 is largest, right? Okay, see here what I'm getting. Enter a number, right? So I'm entering two numbers, that is 3 and 4. So it will compare 3 and 4. What will be my output? 4 is largest, right? So if I'm giving 5 and 2, what happens? Which statement will be executed? Statement 1 or statement 2 or statement 3? 1. Is it 1? 1 or 3? 5 and 2. See here. What is executing? The number 5 is largest, right? Okay. So suppose if I am giving 3 and 3, which statement will be executed? 2, right? The numbers are equal. Is it clear? Okay. Okay, guys. Like we'll give you some 5 minutes time. Okay, just execute this and see. Just see and execute. Okay, just make sure you don't miss any of the syntax errors. Okay, make sure you get this output. Okay, I'll give you some 5 minutes time. Make sure you get the output. Right? If you're getting some errors, you can send me the screenshot to me personally in WhatsApp. Okay, I'll just check and revert you back what is the error. Is it clear? I will give you some 5 minutes time. Make sure you get the output. Okay, once when you're done, let me know, guys. What about others? Is it done? If it is done, please do let me know. What about others? Is it done? Like guys, many of them are using single quotes. Okay, just try to use backtick. Okay, avoid using single quotes. Like guys, if you have some errors, you can just send me the screenshot of your error and with your code to me personally. Okay, I'll just check what is the error and I will revert you back. Others, please send me the error. Okay, I'll just check and revert you back. Okay, like if you are getting the errors, please send me. I'll just check and revert you back after the class session. Is it clear? What about others? Is it done? Please respond. Okay, whatever error you are having, just send me. Whatever error you are having, just send me. Whatever error you are having, just send me. I'll check and revert you back after the class session. Okay, okay guys, like we'll wind up the session for today. We'll see some more questions tomorrow, scripting questions tomorrow. Okay, just mark the attendance, mark your attendance. Screen is visible, right? Okay, the password will be available only for 2 minutes. Make it fast, please make it fast. Once done with your attendance, do let me know and you can leave the session, guys. Thank you. Make it fast. It will be available only for 2 minutes. Make it fast. Like guys, one more announcement, important announcement. Tomorrow you don't have class session. Okay, there will be no class session tomorrow. Instead, you will be having your class session on Saturday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Is it clear? Tomorrow you don't have your class session. Instead, you'll be having your class session on Saturday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Okay, tomorrow you'll be having your lab session you'll be having, but class session you don't have tomorrow. Is Saturday at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. lab session and class session, there is a same link only. Okay, you can join the session, the same link. It will be available in the WhatsApp description, same link.